this is Mrs. Cagle, and this is the lecture video for Unit 4 Continued, Create an Oral Presentation. So last week, you wrote an instructions report outlining how to do a specific task that you want to teach someone else how to do. And I reminded you last week that the task you chose, you needed to be able to do this week, because you are demonstrating your ability to create your instruction report in a demonstration setting. So we're going to be doing that in one of two ways. You can either create a visual presentation using a PowerPoint, which is, to me, the easier way to do it. You are going to take pictures of yourself completing the assignment, or video yourself completing the assignment, create a PowerPoint, and then present the PowerPoint. Or you can have someone film you completing the task, going through the instructions using like your phone or another camera, and you can create a YouTube video to do that. So I'm going to kind of go through the Moodle site today and then show you a good student example of how that's supposed to work. So the first thing you're going to see, this is the video we're watching. I have given you a couple of different videos from Google on how to complete this process, because I do not know what kind of technology you have access to. I have a laptop. It's an Acer, and I have access to both Google Slides and Microsoft PowerPoint. So I don't know what you have. For me, it's easier to use Google Slides. If you do not have a Gmail account, it's very easy to do. Google Slides is free, Gmail is free. So I recommend creating a Gmail account and using Google Slides. And if you do that, then you can use the program that I'm using actually right now. It's called Loom. Loom is an add-on for Google. It's also free and it's very easy to use, but it will allow you to share your, it'll allow you to share your screen like I'm doing now, and you just simply put the PowerPoint on the screen and then talk over the PowerPoint using Loom. If you don't like Loom, you can use, Screencastify is another really good option. Or if you're using Microsoft PowerPoint, then there are two different videos that will explain to you how to add narration to your PowerPoint. If you have an older version of Microsoft PowerPoint, I don't know if those will work. I'm not 100% sure. This is something that is completely based on your technology. If you have an older version of Microsoft PowerPoint, I do recommend just going through and using Gmail. Or using Google Slides on Google. It really is the easiest way to go about doing it. So let's go ahead and go over the requirements. I'm just going to bring up the presentation requirements here. So it says here, using the guidelines listed in Moodle, you'll need to create a PowerPoint presentation that lists the information in your instruction report from last week. Along with the presentation, you will need to do a voice recording over the presentation for the speech portion of the project. If you do not complete the speech portion, the highest grade you will receive is a 50. So that is important to know, that if you just turn in a PowerPoint and you don't have any of the presentation aspects, this is the public speaking portion of your show. You have to speak to people in a professional way. And if you do not have a voice over for your presentation, the highest grade you'll get is a 50. Now, I am going to go through the instructions in just a second, but I do want to keep going. It may say that you cannot submit this because the file is too big. If you have Google Drive, you can submit the link to your video in your Google Drive and then send me the link to that. Or I think you can do that in OneDrive on Microsoft as well. Or you can create a YouTube video using the create feature in YouTube and then just share the link with me. Please do not email me the project unless you have no other way to turn it in. It keeps showing you that the file is too big. You're unable to figure out or unable to get the links to work or whatever. Then you can email me the project. But please do not email me the project unless you and I have discussed it first, because I do not want to accidentally lose your project in my email. It's happened before. So let's go ahead and go back into Moodle here. Give me a second. There we go. Scrolling. All right, let's look at the requirements here. Okay, so your oral presentation of your requirements. You need to have a PowerPoint that has a title page that contains a title relating to your project and an image relating to your instructions and your name. Remember, all images that you are using in your PowerPoint are your images. I'll be okay with a couple of stock images. For the most part, they need to be yours. You need to have an introduction or abstract explaining the purpose of your report. So this is on another slide here. Who your audience is and the expertise or experience level of who can complete the instructions and how long it will take to complete. You are not doing a paragraph here. That is something important to know about PowerPoints, is you are not putting paragraphs of information on the PowerPoint. You are listing what needs to be said, and then you are explaining these things using your voice. The PowerPoint is a guide to your information, not all of your information. The next slide or two, you need necessary equipment or supplies to demonstrate the process. Every piece of equipment should have an image. So if you're talking about changing the oil in the car, I need a picture of the oil filter. I need a picture of the oil itself. I need a picture of the funnel. I need a picture of the jack. And these should be your pictures, not Google's. You will probably need more than one slide for this portion. Then you are going to do step-by-step instructions of how to complete the process you wrote about in your instruction report. Remember, we're not writing paragraphs. We're simply listing the steps, and then you need an image for each step. So this is what I was telling you, that you need to have something you can demonstrate. This is you demonstrating what you're doing. So you need an image for every step. And so because of that, you should have no more than 2 steps per slide to make it easier to see. This needs to be you giving the demonstration, either in images or video format. So if you would like to import some video into your PowerPoint, that's fine. If you want to just have a picture of you pouring oil into a funnel, that's also fine. But it needs to be you, clear that it is you, not some rando off of Google. And it is okay. I'm okay with you locating the tools online if you need to, but you must be the one giving the demonstration to most of the steps of the instructions. Make sure while you're going through the speech or auditory portion of the show that you are giving a clear understanding of how to complete each procedure or process, and that you have a conclusion that explains what you will get if you achieve all the steps. Your presentation, it says 5 minutes, but I'm finding that 3 to 5 minutes is okay. So as long as it's at least 3 minutes, I'm fine with that. Now, that is the way that we are going to do it. Let me show you a student example here. So he did lose some points because a lot of these materials were not his, but I, for some reason, did not have many people turn this in. So he did lose a few points just because some of the images weren't his. They were stock images off of Google, but this is the first page. If you notice, he has a thing. So if I click this, it's going to make a noise.
This presentation will be about how to use a digital multimeter. It will cover step-by-step instructions on how to measure DC voltage, DC current, and resistance.
Okay. So if I put this into presentation mode, it would literally go through every single one of these. If you notice, every single thing has a little thing on there where I can click and listen to his words. To do this, he went to record, and then he hit from the beginning, and then he recorded his speech as he went through his PowerPoint. So if you notice here on the second slide, he's got an introduction. He's got what is a multimeter, who would use it, and what is covered in these instructions. This is exactly how I want this to look, because it is clear that when I listen to this, which I'm not going to because I don't have the kind of time, but when we listen to this, he's going to explain all of these things to me. He's got his equipment. Like I said, some of these are not, like this is not his picture of his battery, but this is his picture of a battery clip. So once again, still going through his equipment here. Now he put an image of a DC circuit. I'm okay with that because it's something you need, and he just doesn't have on his beck and call there. But this is his breadboard. This is a picture that he took himself of this. So now he's going to talk about setup and safety in his speech here. He's going to show himself checking this electrical outlet. He's showing where the things should be. He's got some zoom in there, which I think is kind of a nice little touch there. He's showing him, these are his hands and his table using this equipment. So actually, I think he didn't lose credit. These are all his pictures. That was my mistake. Sorry about that. All right, the secret word for this speech, or for this particular video, is going to be circuit. CIRCUIT. Circuit is going to be the secret word for this particular video. Circuit. So once again, I'm just kind of going through it. You can go through this a little bit more in detail on your own, and then at the end, he has his conclusion. So you can go through this on your own. I have this linked in. You will have to download it, but I do have the student sample linked into the assignment. So you'll be able to do that. And then you can turn that in when you're done. So just a reminder, if your PowerPoint is too big to turn in, I recommend getting a Google Drive and putting that PowerPoint in your Google Drive and then turning in the shared link for the PowerPoint. If that does not work, email me and say, Mrs. Cagle, the document is too big. I cannot get it to turn in. Can I just email that to you? And I will say yes. Just a reminder that work is due when it is due and no later than that. This assignment will be open 3 days beyond the due date. If it is turned in past that, the highest grade you can get is a 70. If you have any questions, make sure to follow up with me on my virtual office hours Monday, and those hours are listed in Moodle. If you have questions, please get in touch with me, guys. And this is not something, some of this stuff in this class you can wait until last minute to do. This is not one of those assignments. So please make sure that you are not waiting until last minute to get this stuff done. If you have any questions, make sure to let me know. Thanks, guys.